Hey friends, welcome back to Rita Talks. I'm Rita, and on this YouTube channel I just share some of the thoughts, ideas that I've been thinking about, or some of the things that have been happening in my life. And in today's video, I just want to talk about my day. It's been kind of weird. Basically, back when I was traveling, so when I was in Mallorca, I got bitten by some fish, or like electrocuted. I like first by one fish here in my arm. I don't know if you can see it. It has like a little mark here. It's like kind of itchy. But the worst one is that I got also bitten by a jellyfish, and actually it's like pretty big, on my leg. I don't know if you can see it, but basically here, like this is the okay. I think it would be better if you no, it doesn't work any better. Let's see. I don't know how to show it. Let's see. Can you see now? No. Okay. Yeah, I guess you can see for a bit. But basically, this is the jellyfish mark. And today, basically, it just grew into this whole thing, and it fucking hurts. And it's been like more than a week since I've been touched by this jellyfish. So like today especially, it has been like very, very itchy, and you know, kind of painful. So not sure. I mean, by the time that it wasn't bearable anymore, all the pharmacies were closed. So I'm just gonna have to suffer through the night. I mean, I'm not gonna suffer. I'm just gonna put on my meditation mat hat and like try to endure the pain of this hurting. Uh, yeah, it just kind of fucking like I don't know. Like when I was in the south of France for my cousin's wedding, like I got bitten by some pretty gigantic mosquitoes, and like it also freaking hurt. Like I have mosquito marks on my legs, like they are this size, and I guess maybe I have like some sort of allergy that's caused me to react this much to I don't know, bites and like basically jellyfish and like fish. I don't know. It's super weird, and yeah, I guess I'm just uh, trying not to scratch the itch, and trying to think about other stuff. So so yeah, today has been an interesting day. In the morning, I gave a machine learning class between brackets, because we spent most of the session doing the Python setup, which was pretty stubborn because I don't know, for some reason PyCharm didn't want to work, and like I was trying to get the right environment set up, and like we just couldn't figure it out. And then I was like, okay, fuck it, let's just download Virtual Studio Code. And then thank God, Virtual Studio Code, the savior of my life, I love you. Uh, it finally worked, and then we were actually able to discuss the actual problem that she was having with her project. So that was cool. Honestly, I really, really love like tutoring machine learning, or basically teaching it, because basically it reinforces this identity that I'm trying to build for myself around machine learning. It's genuinely what I want to do for the rest of my life. I mean, not for the rest of my life, but for now. Like I love mathematics and machine learning, and I really, really want to have it be the main thing that I do for my main job. And that's why I've been trying to transition into applied science. But yeah, still no outcome yet from that. So yeah, I guess I just have to be a bit more patient, and hopefully something will turn up. And also, like, I've been thinking about it, and I truly think that this is the single area where, like, I have, like, I have the ability to compound, like, this skill that I have in machine learning has the ability to compound onto itself, because I really, really, really love working on it, and I love explaining it to people. That's why I've been doing the tutoring, just to practice my explaining skill. Like, I barely make any money from it, but the main point for me is just like to expand my explaining skills. And I genuinely believe that once, or if, I mean, maybe it's question of when, not of if it's gonna happen, because there is no way that I'm giving up on this, no matter what happens with this interviews that I did with my that my manager arranged for me. I don't know what's gonna be the outcome of those, but no matter what, I won't give up on this thing that I truly feel in the depths of my heart is truly what I want to do, and I feel the happiest, as probably you can see from the videos on this channel from that period where I was preparing for the interviews. I just like absolutely loved it with all my heart. Especially towards the end, as the interviews were approaching, as was when I was like at my peak of love for this topic. I was just like so happy to be working on it. And yeah, basically just hopefully like I have this whole plan in mind, basically, of you know, doing this as my day job and then compounding it onto itself by tutoring like I am doing right now, just to get exposed to more projects and more use cases, and like try out different things, and also reinforce my knowledge by mentoring other people without necessarily having to work on the projects myself. I can mentor other people. And also basically even compounding it more onto itself by making it into a YouTube thing where I can potentially share some papers and like basically break them down into understandable bits for people to understand, like, because not everyone knows how to read a scientific paper, even less so a mathematical scientific paper. And I really want to basically read a lot of papers and start like basically breaking them down for other people. But right now, like, the main reason that I'm not doing it is because I don't feel legitimate enough to do it. That's why I'm waiting for my role transition before actually starting to do it, because I just have too much ongoing stuff in my mind. So yeah, like, once that, at least that bit of uncertainty is resolved, like, I can just freaking like sprint with it, because like it would compound onto itself, and I can also teach teach at like the internal trainings that we have at my company, especially the machine learning trainings, and basically like have a whole system of compounding work that, like, because I genuinely love doing it, like, it's gonna compound onto itself, because it will be my day job, and it will be stuff that I do, like, that I do in my free time, and also like, yeah, like basically posting content to help other people, and you know, like, I genuinely believe in this thing. Uh, it's just that now I feel like my momentum has been kind of broken because of the really crazy delay in terms of getting a response from my manager about whether or not my transition is gonna happen. And so yeah, for now I've been trying to keep myself calm, at least between now and the time that that I hopefully get French citizenship. And then once that's done, I swear, if my manager says no or something like that, I'm just gonna like, I'm gonna be done. I'm gonna be like, okay, fuck this job, I'm quitting. I'm gonna go do a PhD in this area or something. Like, maybe not find a job, because I, like, the problem about having a few years of experience is that it's not in this area, and basically I won't be like, no one probably will hire me because the past few years I've only been doing software engineering stuff. So also, like, I really want to do it, like it would be cool to do a PhD because basically I miss school and I mean it's weird to say I miss school, but I miss that feeling that I had when I was a student and uh, with a lot of time to explore and like do a lot of things which I was not aware of when I was a student, and now that I'm working a full-time job, like I know that I can make the best out of it if I go back to being a student or like a PhD student. And I genuinely believe that I can make the best out of it, uh, given what I know now and the maturity that I've gained over the past few years working in the industry. And yeah, that's why I've been like a bit patient. I'm just waiting for this French citizenship thing to hopefully come through. And once that's settled, I can just do whatever the heck I want, take a bit more risks when it comes to pursuing something that I truly believe in. And in this case, which is like something that's like kind of the buzz topic right now. But I've loved this way before it has become mainstream in terms of, oh, this is so cool, AI, machine learning. Like, I've loved this topic for a few years now, mathematics and everything. It has been like just genuinely something that I love doing, and it also happens to be uh, like what the future is made out of is gonna be made out of. So I genuinely believe in this compounding ability because it's the right opportunity, like in terms of timing, in terms of what's happening in the world, and it's a topic I genuinely enjoy and that I work on even when I'm not working. So like with my tutoring stuff, I help students who are struggling with it. Maybe like for example, the student that I had today, she doesn't have a machine learning background, and basically I'm just explaining things to her and helping her with that. And so yeah, like I just see so much potential in this area, and this is why no matter what, I'm gonna stick with it. No matter what happens in the short term, I am committed to making this happen in the long term. Even though now I feel like a bit disconnected from this identity because I haven't had like that many mentees, I guess, to have to tutor. And basically, like today was really good for me because I was finally working back again on it through mentoring this student of mine. So so yeah, that's why I love mentoring and like tutoring. Like just the immense drive that I get from it is just so satisfying to be able to help other people. I start, like this feeling of being helpful is such a good feeling that gives me so much hope. And yeah, I just want to keep doing that and maybe scale it to wider audience. And I genuinely believe that's where the intersection of all I've been doing will culminate. So basically, my work, this YouTube stuff that like filming videos and stuff like this, making content, and like basically finding the intersection between all of these worlds and combining them into one thing that just compounds into itself. Like, oh my god, just the thought of it makes me super excited, but also I'm kind of holding myself back because of this uncertainty of what's gonna happen, whether or not I'm gonna be able to transition and change the roles uh, of my job. So yeah, wish me luck. Pray for me that this works out. If it doesn't, as I mentioned, I am. It might take longer, but I am 100% committed to this journey because I know in my truest of hearts that this is genuinely what I love doing, uh, and this is where I really truly see the potential for myself to have the most impact and basically uh, affect the most change in a positive way, hopefully. and because I love it so much, and I'm the kind of like driven person. Like when I really love something, I'm just gonna go all in, especially if it's in service of other people. I will just like like all of these basically strengths will uh, stack on top of each other to form something that's much bigger than each of these strengths separated. And so yeah, um, I'm hopeful for the future, but right now, because of that uncertainty, the question mark in my head, it's hard for me to visualize that future. But I don't wanna. I just wanna stay hopeful, and basically that's why right now I'm trying not to think about it. I mean, obviously right now I am thinking about it because I'm talking about it, but that's why over the past few months since I've done my interviews, I've not to think about it and just focus on what's in front of me, the present moment. And yeah, we'll see how this goes. Yeah, I don't want to break my brain by thinking too much about the uncertainty of what's to come over the next few weeks, few months. We'll see. That's what I keep on telling myself. One day at a time, we will see. Eventually, in the long run, uh, it will work out. So yeah, yeah. That's really what I wanted to talk about for today. Just super hopeful. Also, I've been listening to also another one of my absolute favorite albums. So like I have two albums that I absolutely love that just bring me so much joy depending on my mood. And the first one is the Live in Buenos Aires by Coldplay. So basically it's the Head Full of Dreams tour. And the second one is Native by One Republic, and that's the one that I was listening to right now, and it reminds me a bit of high school, like my last year of high school, and we would travel with my parents, and I would be at the back in the back seat by the window and looking out while we were driving from Casablanca to Marrakesh because we used to travel a lot for a few days to Marrakesh, just like, especially as the summer came closer. And I remember specifically this one trip where my parents like were going right after school, and so my parents came to pick me up at high school, and then I was daydreaming while listening to this album on a loop. And whenever I feel like I need some daydreaming and basically to put myself in a hopeful mood, I put on that album. I mean, it doesn't always work. Like if I overuse it, then it doesn't work. But yeah, I haven't listened to it in a while. Maybe I did listen to it actually a few days back, like 3 or 4 days ago. But yeah, now I was also listening to it, and I was so happy to listen to this album again. So yeah, you can check it out if you want to see what it feels like to listen to this beautiful album by One Republic. Actually, I would go on to say it's my favorite. Uh, like it's the album that has all of my favorite uh, songs from them. From One Republic, even more. I like those songs on and that on that album. That I think it dates back to 2014, the album, or 2013. But it's definitely one of my absolute favorite album. It's my second favorite album of all time. On like after the Coldplay album, the Live in Buenos Aires album. So as you can see, like the albums that I like are, uh, I would say probably not on people's top albums, but they are mine. Uh, and yeah, I mean, Imagine Dragons is also probably one of my absolute favorite artists of all time. Uh, Even though I don't like specifically one album of them like more than all the other albums, like I would say Evolve, I love. Uh, Evolve and the first Night Visions. I think that was the name of their first album. Night Visions, the extended version uh, with Celine and like Celine. I don't know if it's like Celine or uh, yeah. I'm just looking it up. So Imagine Dragons. Let's see. So these are my top three artists, obviously. So Evolve is really good, and actually I love a lot of the uh, uh, Imagine Dragons albums. I wouldn't say like also Origins is really good. Like I remember when it first came out. It was when I was it was my first year after the like my actually my third year in France, I think, or fourth year in France, and I absolutely loved it. And I was listening to it on repeat. Like I have this very specific memory of the day that it came out, and I was like in school at my French engineering school, French graduate school, and I think we had like some innovation week or something like that, and we were working on a project, and I was like hanging out with my friends, and like the album had come out, and I was like, okay guys, I'm not gonna sit. Like we were sitting on a table in our startup, like basically my school had a startup incubator, and we were sitting in the startup incubator for this special week that we had, and basically I remember very distinctly being on the table and like putting the AirPods in and like just listening to this album while people like people around me were like, I think we were having dinner because we were preparing, like it was a somewhat of a hack week, and I was just listening to my to my to this amazing album Origins. So yeah, very good memories. Uh, yeah, there was Evolve. Like honestly, I love Imagine Dragons in general. So yeah, like nothing left to say. Yeah, it's called Celine. So it's like very obscure. Let's see. Can I get myself out of this and get this freaking camera to focus on this? So this is the extended version, the deluxe version of Night Visions, and it has these songs that I think not that many people know. So there's nothing left to say. No, 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 no. Cha-ching, Working Man. Like I love Imagine Dragons. So now you know about all of the artists that I absolutely love. So my top three, I would say, are definitely Imagine Dragons, uh, Coldplay, and One Republic. Depending on the year, one of them takes the top. So it's on a rolling basis. I would definitely say that over the past few years, it has definitely been the top spot has been taken by Coldplay or Imagine Dragons. Most recently, Imagine Dragons, and then like I think yeah, I would say One Republic is always the third out of my favorite artists. My favorite out of all of these, but Coldplay and Imagine Dragons are always switching places. But I would say right now it's my favorite is Imagine Dragons, even though my top albums are not Imagine. Like my number one album is definitely the Coldplay Live in Buenos Aires, and the second one is the one that I was mentioning, Native by One Republic. So you can see that it's a bit jungled up. Anyway, thanks a lot for tuning in. You can click here to watch my previous video on the channel, and you can click here to watch my latest video on the channel. Yeah, I hope you have a fantastic rest of day, night, whichever time of day it is where you are right now. Bye for now, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye bye.